Oh my god, I almost fell over. That would be doom. Doomsday. Bleh. Blood, guts, terror. Bleh. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gaming things. I am back again today with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's preview video is going to be on Doom, Arena board game from Modifius Games, who very kindly helped sponsor today's video. Now, as per usual with my preview videos, usually the game's over there. As per usual with my preview videos, this is not an official how to play. Its purpose is to be a general overview to help you decide whether or not this game is going to be a good fit for you. Few things to note. Number one, this is a prototype version of the game. The rules have not been completely finalized, and I don't have all of the components to the game. One of the other reasons why it's not an official how to play. But like I said, I'm going to show you kind of what I have, but just note, because it's a prototype, anything you see is, of course, subject to change, as always. I'm going to have all the links. Everything you need will be in the description below, so definitely make sure that you go down and click on the links if this sounds like it's going to be a good fit for you. And some of you may be thinking, hey, isn't that video game from my childhood? Yeah, it is. That is what this game is based off of. Actually, I have Doom for the Nintendo 64 right here. Now this is not the oldest version of the game, it just happens to be one that we had nearby. But if you're wondering, yeah, Jeff's a fan. So without further ado, I say we dive in and learn a little bit more about Doom Arena board game. Let's do it. Welcome to hell, literally. In Doom Arena board game, you'll relive the fast-paced, bloody chaos of Doom in tabletop form. This is a competitive combat game for 2 players. One becomes the unstoppable Doom guy, and the other commands the demonic horde spilling out of hell's portals. You'll face off across a series of brutal arena rounds, fighting tooth, claw, and chainsaw for control, and most importantly, for blood. Because in this game, it's not just about surviving, it's about spilling as much blood as you can before the other side does. That's pretty intense. But what does any of that mean? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a closer look at how the game works. To start, let's, as per usual, take a look down here at the table. Now, I want to mention again, I do not have all of the components for this game currently. So typically when you do start out, you'll be starting with a smaller map, but this is the large map, okay? This is what you're going to get into later on in the game. I also just wanted to kind of show off some of these sweet miniatures, and there are lots that are going to come with the game representing different baddies, representing Doom Guy, etc. Now, I do want to mention this, like I said, it's a 2-player game. One player is going to play as Doom Guy, and the other is going to control the demonic hordes. There are 2 different versions of Doom Guy that you can play. For today's example, we have regular Doom Guy out, but we also do have an enraged Doom Guy. Let me get his paper. Doom Guy Enraged. So you get to choose which one you would like to play. So one player is going to play as Doom Guy, like I said before. The other will control the demonic hordes. For today's example, I have selected these 3 demonic hordes. We've got Shotgun Dude, Zombie Man, and Lost Soul, all of which do have their own minis. So once you choose sides, you're then going to go into, of course, the setup. For Doom Guy, you're going to have your starting weapons, and once again, you're going to have some more components, upgrades. You're going to have unit card, you're going to have your figure. They're going to be, like I said, listed weapons on the player sheet. And then one component that I don't have is a turn tracker. So you're going to set up the turn tracker, all of that stuff. And then for the person who plays the demonic hordes, you're going to choose 3 fodder demons to start. The 3 that I have selected are those types of bad guys essentially. You can have multiple of the same so long as there are enough units or enough minis in order to put them all out. Let's talk about how it works. Now, each round in this game has 5 phases. The first being to set up the board, then deploy units, rip and tear, and that's where most of the action happens, and upgrade. You'll play up to 3 rounds, and the first to win 2 of those rounds is the champion of hell. It's very scary stuff. So the first phase in the round is going to be to set up the board, and that is, like I mentioned, there are multiple boards that are going to be included in this game. Now in round 1 you're going to use a small board, whereas in round 2 and 3 you'll use a large or boss board. I don't have the small board options here in my prototype version, but just know that that's the first thing you're going to do, set up the board. The loser of the previous round is actually going to get to pick the next round board and side. So that's going to be one of the options. The next step is to deploy units. Now, Doom Guy is going to spawn on an edge hex near that player. There is spawn tokens. So you'll see here we have Demonic Horde spawn tokens, and then we have Doom Guy. So I have this set up a little bit differently, but if we wanted to put him here, we're going to put him on top of that spawn unit. Demonic Hordes are going to spawn on that player's side, 1 or 2 spawn points depending on the board side. Just for the sake of the example, this is a large board, so we may want to put 2 out. Whoops. Then they're going to place any of their remaining spawn demons, the bad guys, in other open edge hexes. If there's no room, some demons may have to sit out this round. Once the board is set up, both players are ready to face off. Doom Guy versus the Demonic Hordes. Then we're going to get into the rip and tear phase. This is the heart of the game where all the combat happens. The Doom Guy always takes the first turn in each round. Then players will alternate turns until both have taken 6 turns each. A turn is where each player gets to move, attack, and use abilities depending on which side they're playing. So let's talk about Doom Guy first. When it's Doom Guy's turn, he can perform 2 actions. You can choose to move, attack, or do some combination of both. For example, move and attack and move, or attack twice, if that makes sense, or move twice, if that makes sense. When you attack, you'll first of all choose one of Doom Guy's weapons. Now to start, and I know this is going to look different as you're playing the game, but once again this is just kind of how I set it up. You can get more weapons, etc. But to start, you're going to choose one of Doom Guy's weapons and then check its range and pattern shown on the card. So as an example with the pistol, they have a target range and pattern here, a straight line of 5. So he would be able to hit this guy right here as an example. If I wanted to use his pump action shotgun, there's a range in a cone of 3, and its special ability is spread. So you can see if he's standing here, it's kind of like kind of like that, like a cone, basically like it says. So you're going to check its range and pattern that are shown on that weapon card. Then you're going to roll the dice that are listed on that card to determine damage. So in this example, if we wanted to use the pistol, which just makes sense, we are going to take 4 of the low caliber dice and we're going to roll those to determine our damage. Woof, that's pretty bad. I rolled a 1. So that's the amount of damage that we're going to do. Now, if Doom Guy deals damage, he earns blood equal to the total amount dealt. One of the components that is missing from my prototype is that blood tracker. So we are actually going to have physical trackers that track the blood that we collect from our damage that we do. All right? Just know I don't happen to have that. Now, each weapon might have a special effect like knockback or splash damage or other abilities. Just know all of that is going to be outlined in the rule book for you when you actually use that. When it's the Demonic Horde's turn, that player is going to receive 3 activation tokens. Each demon costs a certain number of tokens to activate. So fodder demons are going to cost 1 token each, whereas heavy demons cost 2 and super heavy demons cost 3 tokens. You can see that just right here on their card. So all of the fodder demons that we have, 1 token. If we are looking Here at the super heavy demon, there's 3 spaces, and like I did mention, we do also have heavy demons which cost 2. Once again, it's all going to be outlined on their cards. You can spend those activation tokens however you want, all on one big demon or spread out across smaller ones. But once a demon has been activated this turn, it can't be activated again until next turn. Each activated demon gets 2 actions, just like Doomguy: move, attack, or a combination. When the demon attacks, you'll roll the dice shown on their unit card and apply any special effects. And if they deal damage, they earn blood for the demonic horde equal to the damage dealt to Doomguy. So very, very similar thing. Once again, I do not have the blood trackers, but just know that is a physical component that we're going to get to do. So you'll see actually all of the demons here are using the low caliber dice. I will mention the orange die are the medium caliber dice, and red are of course the high caliber dice. And then we do have one BFD. If we wanted to use the Lost Soul, they are going to get 4 of the low caliber dice. They have a targeted range of just whomever is adjacent, so if it were their turn, they most likely want to move and then attack because they want to be adjacent. They would roll. Whoa, that was much better than my last roll, and they would gain 4 blood to their blood tracker. Movement is measured in hexes, so you'll notice the board is spread over with a bunch of different hexes. A unit can move up to its speed listed on its card, so as an example, Doomguy's speed is 6, so he can move 6 hexes, whereas the Lost Soul here is a speed of 2, Zombie Man speed of 4, and Shotgun Dude a speed of 4. All right? There's also different terrain types on this board. Now, if there is open terrain, which is kind of what you see on this, like this yellow terrain, the ones that are outlined, this is normal movement. Then we have difficult terrain, and the difficult terrain has yellow borders, okay? This costs an extra movement to enter. Then we have dangerous terrain, which has the red borders, and if a unit enters one of these areas, they're going to take damage. Then we have impassable terrain, which has black borders. So you'll see kind of out here, we have some black borders. Pretty much what you think. It's impassable, so it can't be entered or crossed. Then we have pits, and if a unit falls in, it's instantly destroyed. Line of sight for attacks is also determined by the hexes, so if you can trace a clear line from your hex to your target without crossing any impassable terrain, you can attack. The next thing that we need to take into consideration are tempo tokens, which we have right here. Maybe I'll show you actually so you can see. So we have some for Doomguy and some for the demonic hordes, 3 each, okay? When you deal damage for the first time in a turn, you gain 1 tempo token to a maximum of 3. Tempo tokens can be spent to use special tempo abilities shown on your unit card. So you'll see them kind of outlined here, and you can assign them to those different areas. These are abilities that you're going to be able to use. These are powerful game shifting abilities, maybe extra attacks, special moves, or area effects depending on that particular unit. So let's just go with Doomguy as an example. This one is Pain Chance, tempo cost 1. Used before an attack, this attack gains stun. We also have one here that costs 3, which gives you your BFD, and we have one that costs 2. So you might want to consider saving all 3 to use the 3 cost ability, or you can spend 1 after you get it. Now, let's talk about something very serious. Damage and death. Very bloody, bloody death. Whenever a unit takes damage equal to its health, it's killed. The health points we have, you'll see here on our demonic horde. Doomguy has 12 health. So our Lost Soul has 4, Zombie Man has 3, and Shotgun Dude has 3. The opposing player will earn blood for every point of damage dealt to finish that unit off. When a demon is destroyed, it will respawn at its spawn point the next time it's allowed to. When Doomguy is killed, he will respawn at the end of the current turn or activation. So Just remember, we have placed out during setup the respawn areas. When Doom Guy respawns, place him back on his spawn hex. All demons adjacent to that hex are going to take 1 damage and are knocked back 1 hex. So, Doom Guy dead. So let's just say that Doom Guy respawns here, then both of these demons that are next to him are going to be knocked back 1 hex, and they're going to take 1 damage. And we do have damage tokens right up here. If you're curious what's that pile of tokens, those are damage tokens. If a demon is occupying the spawn hex and cannot move, that demon is immediately destroyed. So, killing Doom Guy isn't the end, but it will slow him down. After both players have taken 6 turns, the round will end. And once again, there is going to be a turn tracker so that you can, once again, keep track of how many turns have been taken. I just don't have that in the prototype version. Now, you'll count the blood each player earned during that round. The player with the most blood will win that round and take a key card token. So we have 3 key card tokens, and you'll see this is a blue one. So if I won this round, I would get the blue key card token. If the blood total is tied, the player with more tempo tokens left will win. And if it's still tied after that, the demonic horde wins the round. If one player now has 2 key cards, the game ends immediately. They've won. Otherwise, you'll move on to the upgrade phase. So let's talk about the upgrade phase. Each player will receive 3 arsenal tokens to spend. Now, Doom Guy can purchase new weapons or upgrades, so let me grab those weapon cards. Weapons are going to cost the number of tokens shown on their card, which are right here on the back. That is, of course, the symbol for the arsenal tokens. Once again, we're going to get 3. So, like I said, it's all on the back here. Doom Guy can only equip as many weapons as his limit allows. If he's at his limit, he must discard 1 to add another, and you'll see here, he has spots for 3, 2 of which are predetermined at the beginning of the game, and this is an empty weapon slot. So maybe he wants this chainsaw as an example, which would cost him 1 of his arsenal tokens. Now, upgrades are another type of card. So for 2 tokens, he can upgrade his pump action shotgun into a wider choke. And this will say right here, this is a pump action shotgun upgrade. So upgrades are kept permanently unless stated otherwise, and you can just kind of attach them. Now, I have everything kind of pushed in, but you'll give yourself a bit more space. So this is just an upgrade for this weapon, which is going to give us additional things. In this instance, the wider choke is going to add on top of the 2 medium caliber dice. It will add 2 low caliber dice. It says add 2 low caliber to the damage value of the pump action shotgun. All right. Now, the demonic hordes can spend arsenal tokens to recruit new demons into their horde. Fodder demons are going to cost 1 token, heavy demons will cost 2, and super heavy demons will cost all 3. Super heavy demons can't be recruited until round 3 though, so just so you know. Now, that's why in this current example that I had set up, typically when you're at the larger board, you would have more demons, all right? So maybe I wanted to recruit another zombie man for 1 token, and then maybe I wanted a heavy demon, and I got this, I forget his name, Taco Demon. Once recruited, new demons are going to stay in the horde permanently for the rest of the game. When you recruit them, of course, you are going to be grabbing their cards so that you have everything that you need, basically. All right. After the upgrade phase, a new round is going to begin, unless, once again, one player had already earned those 2 key cards. After up to 3 rounds, whoever has won 2 rounds is the winner of the game. And that, my friends, is the flow of play for Doom Arena board game. Move, attack, earn blood, upgrade, respawn, until one side finally claims victory. Remember, Doom Guy is fast and lethal, but he's alone. The demonic horde is relentless and overwhelming and always respawning. May the best killer win. Now, your question might be, who is this game for? So, If you love tactical miniatures game with asymmetric play and cinematic tension, this could be a game for you. It captures the energy of the Doom video game really well while keeping things deeply strategic and interactive. If you enjoy dice chucking combat, planning smart movement and positioning, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of monster slaying mayhem, this could be for you. Once again, it's a two-player game. So, it's a two-player game. If you are a primary two-player house, this could be for you if you don't mind getting in each other's faces, because remember, interaction is going to be very high in this game because it is head-to-head and you're just trying to defeat each other. If you want a healthy hit of nostalgia, if you're a fan of the video game, then definitely give this one a try. It could be right up your alley. So my friends, that is Doom Arena board game. Once again, if this sounds like it's something that you might be interested in, I'm going to have the links. Everything you need will be in the description below of this video. Make sure that you check out the Kickstarter page, you read everything, you do all of this stuff to determine whether or not it's a good fit for you. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, you should first start by checking out your friendly local gaming store. For us, that's the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. And now I say goodbye. Goodbye.